If you've read my community post, you know I like to post mini rants. So after some viewer suggestion, this video is going to contain all of those and more. No sleep titles. They're long, stupid, and spoil the story. I get it. Your 10-second idea that you had to fill 5 pages with fluff writing isn't interesting, so you have to spoil the plot in order to entice people. Stop trying to get that 15 seconds of internet fame from some narrator doing your story. Take some time, think of a plot, make it interesting, then put it out. It doesn't matter when your story is posted, it only matters about the quality. Here's some of my stories with Reddit titles. I went to the circus as a kid and was never the same again. I found something unspeakable in an abandoned bank vault. I was imprisoned in an ancient cave system, and now I'm awoken. Aliens invaded and now we're waiting to die at a military base. I believe we're all a simulation, and now I plan to test it with suicide. My archaeology team found a creature in the North Pole. An oil company came to my town, now the river is killing them. I dissect people to find what makes them special, but I haven't found it yet. I'm a bounty hunter who's about to face my family's killer. I lost my family after society collapsed. By the way, I'm a dog. To any author who climaxes their story with, I dare not describe what happened. You are a joke. Was it really that hard to take an extra day or so to fucking think of something even half interesting to have happen? You write an entire build-up just to blueball us with what amounts to, I was too fucking lazy to think of a proper ending, because my mental capacity ends where interesting writing begins. Brave and bold statement incoming. SCP has all but ruined standalone horror. I can't watch a video on something weird, or even non-horror, without like 5 comments using peak originality to say, this is like an SCP. And if it is an SCP, it's someone saying it's Eldritch. For new viewers, let this be the post that lets you know, I'm not a fan of SCP. White text, red text thumbnails, and sometimes yellow text. They are some of the laziest things on YouTube. The laziest thing being red arrow and circle thumbnails. Make no mistake, these thumbnails coincide with the no-sleep titles. Since they're fucking massive, you almost have to have your text change color so that way it doesn't all blend together. And what's worse is the image for the thumbnail usually has nothing to do with the actual story. And then they go full lazy bastard and use the thumbnail as the visuals for the story. And now these thumbnails are somewhat a result of circumstance. If it wasn't for fucking huge titles, you wouldn't need to embolden the important words of your title in red. Human-based murder mysteries bore the fuck out of me. Whether they're psychos, religious nuts, or crime of passion, I find them all very boring. Why'd you do it? Because insert dumb, unjustifiable reason here. That's sick. I can't believe you, a person, is capable of this wholly possible act of violence. Something, man is evil, something are we the real monsters. Kraft cheese singles are awful, and if you like them, you're wrong. Long insults make you look stupid. They're not funny, they're not clever, and by the time you finish that paragraph-long attempt at deconstructing me, I've already made up my mind about you. Please keep your insults to a 4-word maximum. The shorter the insult, the more surgical it is. Anything longer shows that a nerve has been struck, and you care way too much. YouTube comments trying to tell their personal accounts of something scary. It always comes off as trying too hard to convey an emotion. Your capitalized words don't shake me to my core. If anything, you sound like someone who jumps to conclusions and can't accept anything less than the delusion you've created. Working off the last one, people in comment sections of larger channels are some of the most insufferable vertebrates on the planet. Jump to conclusion based off lack of info? Check. Rage out at the smallest thing they slightly disagree with? Check. Want extreme punishments for mundane mistakes? Check. I swear, if a rational thought ever entered their mind, they would probably go postal. You can't just slap a black and white filter over a color film and think it'll make it feel old-timey. Haha, dude, dude, what if we put a black and white filter on Avengers? Dude, it would be like watching it back in the 50s. No, it isn't. Movies shot in color are designed to be in color. If you put a black and white filter over it, guess what? All those shots with things that have the same color, but are different focus areas? Yeah, they all blend together and make the scene muddy and hard to figure out separate objects. If you're going to make a black and white movie, you have to make sure the colors of the set pieces, props, clothing, etc. are designed around that. Now, there are some good modern movies shot in black and white, but they were designed to be in black and white, not shot in color, then slap a filter over it and call it a day. Tokyo Drift was the last good Fast and Furious movie, and I will physically fight detractors. Inspirational speeches are almost always shallow and surface-level words. You there. Yes, you. Person that is in a completely different situation than mine. If you follow these generic and vague words, you too can be an insufferable motivational speaker too. Anime music videos that are 95% flashy transitions. Where's the substance? Where's the structure? Line up the story elements with the song, please. I don't care that you used every plugin in After Effects. It's like a Kubrick film. All art, no substance. Now that's going to piss some people off. Indie games are not going to save the industry. And here's why. Dude, this is like Halo mixed with Gears of War, mixed with GTA, mixed with Dark Souls, mixed with Need for Speed, mixed with Rainbow Six, mixed with Battlefield, mixed with Doom, mixed with Arkham, mixed with Half-Life, mixed with Cyberpunk, mixed with Dishonored, mixed with Fallout, mixed with Titanfall, mixed with Crysis, mixed with Call of Duty. I don't want a game that's a mix of everything I've already played. I want something that stands on its own. However, even when an indie title does have a lot of ideas, the ability to implement them is usually half-assed or doesn't happen, but is hinted at, making these games feel like it fails. Recognize your limitations in a project and do everything you can within those limitations. To any retro indie dev out there, your pixel art game does not convey serious stories well. Artist, the drawing kind. A lot of you are lazy fuckers. You want to work for major studios, yet you can't finish a freelance commission within a reasonable time span. How are you going to operate on hard deadlines with the threat of getting fired looming over you if you can't even handle drawing for an hour before having an anxiety attack? Food marketing. The kind that makes it seem like you're hardcore for eating Doritos.
So radical! I opened a heat-sealed bag that did one of the most basic human functions of grabbing food, putting it in my mouth, and using the calcium-based protrusions in my jaw and skull to grind the food, while my saliva mixes with it to make it easy to swallow mush. Radical!
To add to this, corporate advertisements. You know those commercials where the company is advertising some product made for the everyday person, and it shows the cleanest houses with people who look like they were grown in test tubes and wearing clothes that are starched to the quantum level. That doesn't feel human. It's sterile, it's silicone, it's glass and steel. I'm what the social elites refer to as human. My skin is coated in its own dead cells. I have bacteria in my mouth and gut. When I take damage to my epidermis, I do this thing called bleeding. My room is not an office space. It's messy. I'm messy. This is especially bad in gaming commercials. No one's room where their console is located in is squeaky clean, nor are they wearing trendy clothing. Or any clothing. YouTubers that do that, watch till the end for the secret word, bullshit. It's hollow engagement that capitalizes on the fact that kids idolize YouTubers, and getting their comment favorited is the only thing that gets the endorphins flowing. It's cheap, it's dumb, and I don't like it. Creepypastas. And I mean the average 3 to 5 page story. Stop trying to turn mundane things into scary stuff. Most of the time, it doesn't work. Your alarm clock is not scary. Your doorknob is not scary. Your bathroom mirror is not scary. That terrible Steam Greenlight game is not scary. You are scary. That 5-second idea you had for an eerie ravioli story is not scary. It's filler for channels that have an upload schedule. Current Marvel movies. They are emotionally boring movies. You're supposed to only laugh or feel heroic, nothing else. You can't feel sad, angry, or uncomfortable. The original Spider-Man 2. When Peter is telling Aunt May that he lied to Ben about where he was going and inadvertently got Ben killed. There's something about that scene. There's no music to soften the blow. There's no superpowers or villains to intercept it. We don't have Rocket Raccoon to bust in at the end and crack a joke that he wants to buy Aunt May's fake hip from her. No, it's a human moment in a movie about superpowers. Peter can't web sling, super strength, or spider sense his way out of it being an emotionally tough scene. I want more. Also, Maguire's Aunt May is superior to all other film iterations. Spotify. I honestly don't understand why people use this program. I've used it before, and it was awful. The fact that anyone has ever said, "Man, it sucks that this song isn't on Spotify." I've never had to say that. You know why? Because if I want a song, I do this thing called download it and put it on my media player. I don't have ads. I don't have to worry about data usage or bandwidth after the initial download. I don't get fucked over if the internet goes out. But Tenbond, how do you discover new music? There's no songs on Spotify that I will ever like, unless it's something I already have. And those are my mini rants. I may do more, I may not. Depends on how blistering mad I am at a subject and if I remember to write it down.